The topic of my today's presentation is camouflage printing. Let's see the contents of the presentation. These are the camouflage defined, the battle dress uniform, camouflage shade and patterns, the background information, and examples or some requirements. Camouflage defined. Camouflage is a method of making a visible object to remain indiscernible from the surrounding environment through deception. For example, the tiger skin or the battle dress of modern soldier. As in the coming slide, this is the camouflage printed suit. Cryptic coloration is the most common form of camouflage. The simplest way is for an animal to be of a color similar to its surroundings. As a green parrot in green leaves, you cannot detect it, or the other examples may include earth tones of deer, squirrels, moles, the combination of blue skin and white underbelly of a shark, or the animals such as moths, frogs, and many others. So coming to the point, the textile materials which can be used for military purposes. This slide shows basically the articles and the substrate you can use for that article, then the product brands or the dyes and the colorants. For example, the main substrates used in camouflage printing or camouflage fabrics are the polyester cotton, polyester, polyamide cottons, polyamides, polyolic, acrylonitrile and other ones. The battle dress uniform. This is an example of the printed camouflage patterns. You cannot detect it from a distance. The plain shade camouflage, woodland camouflage, these are the soldiers. You cannot detect them. The suits which resemble to the background, you cannot detect them from a distance. The snow camouflage. Three-colored desert camouflage. This is used by the United States Army. This is the six-color desert camouflage. Now, in the 21st century, the soldier faces battlefield challenges that are more complex and greater in number than ever before. One of the greatest challenges is to conduct military operation in urban areas. So, now we'll look at some modern techniques. So, camouflage shades and patterns. This is basically a list of the colors which you can use for the camouflage printing or camouflage patterns. This includes the light green, dark green, khaki beige, brown, olive and black. The combination of these colors make most of the camouflage patterns. These are different patterns used by different army. The left one is for the German army, French and United States. Basic principle of the camouflage is the adaptation of the combat suits and equipment to the natural surroundings. What you can get is minimizing the visibility of soldiers and equipment. No, a suit or a material printed or dyed for military purposes or for military uniform, if it's perfectly invisible with the normal human eye, it can be visible or will be visible by infrared reflectors. We'll see in the later coming snaps as this one. There are the three shades. These are not visible to human eye, unaided eye. But when they are photographed in IR, one is invisible, second and third, they can be detectable. This is the reflectance data of these three, and the reflectance data for this one and this one through IR. These are the soldiers having the uniform which is camouflage printed. These are not detectable to the normal human eye. But when they are in the IR range or they are portrayed through an IR film, then this and this you can see that these are detectable with this one or can be targeted. But this one, the third one, is the perfectly camouflaged. This is the reflectance data for the leaf green, and to a pattern to match or a pattern which gives the camouflage should be like this one. Here is another photograph. This is Norwegian and this is the IR photograph. If you see that in Norwegian this is camouflage over here, you cannot detect it. But it should be like this one if you want to get the IR invisibility. The success of camouflage under normal conditions of visibility has led to the use of new military observation techniques. This is through the red filter. This is spectral data for the red filter. This is through the satellite or some sort of plane. And no, this is related to the night vision equipments. They work in sensitivity range of 900 to 1000 nanometers. This is sensitivity graph, the reflectance data for that. And this is the values being given for leaves, fire needles, sands and soils. High reflection of wet and dry sand. No, this is the camouflage prints in comparison. Reflection curves of all shades are adjusted to the chlorophyll, light green curve for Malaysia and Taiwan. This is for Malaysia, for United States, for Germany, for Switzerland. Now coming to IR camouflage. IR camouflage textile products against the IR detector. Infrared detector relies on the fact that people give more heat than the surroundings. No, a water-cooled camouflage over suit could render the wearer's surface temperature the same as that of the surroundings. So if the temperature of the wearer and the surroundings is same, you cannot detect it even through the IR equipments. This is an example that on the left there is a vehicle which is not camouflaged, and on the right is a vehicle which is perfectly camouflaged, and even it is not visible in the IR photograph. This is the substrate for combat suits. For example, for Germany they use 12, usually by the French army is chevron, and for United States army it is cocktail. And other specs are also mentioned over here. Thanks for your patience.